Welcome back to the 13th hour. Today we are going to do a deep dive into who or what the creeper really is. So as you may or may not know, the creeper every 23 years for 23 days comes to life and gets to eat. Now that 23rd year happens to fall this spring in 2024. So I thought we would get a little bit of knowledge around who or what the creeper really is. It may give us a little bit of an upper hand if we ever happen to bump into the creeper himself. Let's start off with what we know the creeper can do. So this ancient monster has some insane skills. He's practically immortal. He has the ability to fly. He has an insane durability. We've seen him being shot, pierced through the head. We've seen him being stabbed and run over, and he's still going. He has insane strength. We have seen him flip buses, and somehow he knows how to drive a car, specifically the IB-eating new mobile. Altogether, these powers and skill sets create an unstoppable force. He is the ultimate killing machine. To truly figure out who or what the creeper actually is, we should probably start from the beginning. So as you may know, the creeper has 4 movies, but he also has a 5-book series. Now these books do come in the form of graphic novels. In these graphic novels, we get the opportunity to see just how embedded in history the creeper really is. We get glimpses of the endless centuries that the creeper has been through. One of the earliest ones that we see in the comic books is the Aztec era. And during the Aztec period, the creeper was treated like a god. The Aztec people would complete these human sacrifices to feed him and keep him happy. It is also said that the creeper dates back to at least the 1500s. Now, there's a possibility that he might have been responsible for the missing Roanoke colonies. This English settlement came to America to create a new home, and eventually the colonists had disappeared under unknown circumstances, and even today we don't really know what happened with this real life event. Is there a possibility that the creeper had something to do with it? Now, one of the things we can look at is, was the creeper a god? So going back to the Aztecs I had mentioned just a few seconds earlier, in the comic books we get to see the Aztec people chanting the creeper's name, and the name they use is the dragon god. Even before the Aztecs, the Mayans had their own god called Camazotz. Camazotz translates to the death bat. This god was portrayed as an anthropomorphic leaf-nosed bat. Camazotz was a god of death, night, and sacrifices. All these things we can actually link back to the creeper himself. Between the creeper's human-like body and bat-like features, including the 3rd nostril that he has above the bridge of his nose, that could have easily been portrayed as a leaf-nosed bat appearance, and all of the things the creeper represents, such as darkness and death. Is there a possibility that the creeper could have been this Mayan god? Let's play devil's advocate slightly with this idea. So in the first movie we get to see the creeper's house of pain. This is where the creeper resides and kept the remains of his victims. The location was the underbelly of an abandoned church. Do you think a demonic god would live comfortably under a house of protection and all things pure? Aren't churches supposed to keep away evil gods and spirits? Although, if this is an ancient god, is there a possibility that the creeper could have been alive before religions such as Christianity were even a thing? Would Christianity even, or other religions, even have an impact on the creeper himself? We also know that the creeper has to eat parts of humans to regenerate his ones that are dying. So for example, in the first movie, we see that he needs a new set of eyes and he wants Darius, and he will not stop until he gets those eyes. And then in the second one, we see that he gets severely injured and he eats one of the kids from the school bus. He eats his entire head. That basically regenerates and forms a whole new head and replaces his old injured one. Wouldn't a god normally not need to rely on other existences and other entities to keep itself going? Surely a god would be everlasting and wouldn't need to rely on creations to survive. If the creation went, would God go too? I don't think so. I think he would just create something else. And saying that, I do believe that because the creeper relies on humanity to feed him, there's a chance he might not be a god, because if we were to go extinct, would then the creeper go extinct too? On that next 23rd year, would he starve? It's also possible that the creeper preyed on the naivety of the Aztec people. After seeing how the Aztecs worshipped and did everything for their other gods, why would the creeper then not use his devilish appearance and godly gifts to trick the Aztecs into believing that he was a god? That would mean every 23 years he would just get to wake up, rest, and be fed. He wouldn't have to hunt at all. And we do know from the movies that he is an incredibly intelligent creature with the ability to make plans and schemes. So I wouldn't put it past him to do something like this. So another thing as well, maybe he wasn't a god. Is there a potential that the creeper was a fallen angel? It is said that God had cast out Satan and all of his minions, banished them to the depths of hell. However, what if not all of them made it to hell? What if some of them got lost or stuck or landed on earth? And the creeper, being full of sin and evil, wanting vengeance, found that eating and tormenting and torturing God's own creation was the best way to get that revenge. So referring back to the creeper's house of pain as well, we do get to see some religious themes. We can see that after he has gotten the parts of the humans that he wants, he doesn't get rid of the bodies. He actually hangs them on the wall in a very artistic way. Now, these positions of some of the bodies do look like they have been crucified. So the remains of the human body being pinned up in such a way, referencing a crucifixion, is that the creeper's way of making fun of Jesus Christ? The use of church as well, which is the house of God, is that actually another way the creeper is mocking God, taking his own creations into his home, tearing them apart, eating them, and playing around with them afterwards? The things that God took so much time to love and forgive is now being tormented in his house. One last thing as well that makes me think there's a potential the creeper could be a fallen angel is, in the Bible, Jesus is to have said, "Very truly I tell you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise them up on the last day." Could the creeper quite literally be eating the flesh and blood of God's sons and daughters to live eternally? And then we have the theory that the creeper is just a monster. He's just a demon. Now, this may be the most logical explanation. However, logic isn't always right. Is the creeper simply here just to feast and cause misery and death and upset wherever he goes? The creeper does look and sound exactly how if you were to describe a demon in his physical form. He has reptilian-like skin like that of a snake, the devil's favorite animal. He has razor-sharp teeth designed to tear apart flesh, and an insatiable lust to just kill and eat and enjoy it as well. If the creeper is a demon, is he one born of human, or is he potentially from a different dimension, or even from the gates of hell itself? In all the movies, we get to see just how the creeper chooses his next meal. Not only does he look for the specific body parts he needs, but he wants you to be terrified. For him, pure terror is the best seasoning on human flesh. The creeper will actively play around with his prey just to ensure that the meat is extra tasty. We can see in the second movie how he actually has a sense of humor with this as well. That in turn will actually terrify people even more, because you shouldn't be getting that much joy out of hunting and killing and eating people. Now, in humanity, there is nothing more demonic than an entity that is purely there to just cause fear and horror and death, especially when they get joy from it. So what do you think? So do you believe he is something that I have already mentioned? Or do you think he's something completely else? Could he be an alien, a mutant, or even a lab experiment gone wrong? I would love to hear your thoughts and theories, so comment them below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the 13th Hour. Any kind of interaction I am going to take at the minute, and I appreciate you guys for clicking on this video.